Hey viewers and friends, Andrew back again and welcome to another video. This is another top 10 list, and today I'm here to talk about my top 10 modern slashers. So pretty much from 2000 right up until now. Decided to start getting back into some slasher videos. You guys know my opinions on slashers, so I really don't need to get into it. But yeah, initially I thought, this will be fairly easy to compile my top 10, but actually it took a bit of thinking, and stuff had to be removed from the list initially, but I'm pretty happy with the 10 that I've chosen. Honestly, I couldn't do this video and not do some honourable mentions, so we're going to do those first. So, first honourable mention is Satan's Little Helper. Fantastic sort of kid-themed slasher, really cheesy, pretty silly, but I really enjoy this one a lot. Got quite a bit of replay value for me, and it's got a fantastic Halloween setting as well. The next one is Cut, really good Australian slasher that I definitely recommend checking out. Especially for the ending. The end kill was really good, so that's Cut. The next one is My Super Psycho Sweet 16. This almost made my top 10 list, but not quite. Fantastic MTV teenage themed slasher, which was actually surprisingly quite violent. Hellbent, definitely recommend this, but again didn't quite make my top 10 list. Fantastic. This one is set during a gay party in Hollywood during Halloween night. Really good. Some awesome kills in this one. And the last honourable mention is Bloody Bible Camp. This certainly wouldn't be for everyone. It's low budget, independent. It is quite cheesy, and it does pretty much take the piss out of religion, but I thought this was really well done. Alright, now let's get into my official top 10 modern slashers. The first 5 are in no particular order, then the last 5, so 5 down to my all-time favourite, are pretty much cemented in place. First up we have the Orphan Killer. Fantastic low budget independent slasher, and I highly recommend this one. Obviously it's in my top 10. Again, like Bloody Bible Camp, this possibly wouldn't be for everyone because it does have some religious undertones, but if you're a fan of really gory sort of torture-esque slasher films, this is definitely one to check out. Clive, I reckon you'd really enjoy this one, mate. But yeah, this is fantastic. Really enjoyed this one, and I really need to upgrade to the Blu-ray at some point. So that's the Orphan Killer. The next one is Gutterballs. Thanks a lot to Bill, Mr. Snickers21, for sending this bad boy to me. I absolutely love it. This is the Halloween edition. This definitely is not going to be for everyone. It's very extreme. It is very full on for a slasher film. There's rape in this one. Essentially this is a rape revenge slasher film, and yeah, definitely not for everyone, but it's just so extreme, so messed up, so full on that I definitely had to include it in my top 10. There's some frigging awesome kills in this one, and I really like the setting. It's set in a bowling alley. The next one is Switchblade Romance, or High Tension. This is a fantastic modern French slasher movie, and I definitely recommend it. Pretty simplistic in terms of its characters and storyline. Doesn't have a massive body count, but there's some fantastic gore in this one, and yeah, I really enjoy this one a lot. The next one is Wrong Turn 2 Dead End. awesome film, part of the Wrong Turn series, and it's actually my favourite Wrong Turn film in the franchise. This is another one that I really must upgrade to Blu-ray. This is probably my favourite backwood slasher film, inbred movie. I absolutely love it. Do prefer it over the original film. I really love the whole sort of survival games aspect to the film. And the inbreds looked awesome, and there were some really awesome kills in this one. So that's Wrong Turn 2. I'm sure most of you have seen it. This is one that I never really hear too many people talk about, but I fucking love it. It's so much fun, and that is Camp Slaughter. Really love the setting and theme in this one. It's a camp themed slasher film. And I really love the premise in this one. Basically, a group of modern day, sort of early 20-year-olds, I guess, they end up having their car broken down, and they end up breaking down near a camp, a summer camp. But the thing is, the summer camp is basically trapped in the 80s. They repeat the same day over and over again where a brutal massacre happened, and these modern early 20-year-olds come across some people from the camp. They're pretty confused as to what's going on, and basically it's up to them to put a stop to the curse that's over the camp once and for good. Really awesome, just such a fun slasher film, as I said before. And this one has a pretty high body count. There's one scene where there's just like a mass amount of kills. It's frigging awesome. But yeah, this is fairly different to a lot of modern slashers out there, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a pretty good sort of throwback to the 80s as well. So that's Camp Slaughter. Alright, now we are on to my pretty much official top 5. So sitting at number 5 is The Sleeper. This is another low budget independent slasher. You'll kind of notice a bit of a theme here. In terms of modern stuff, I definitely think the independent low budget stuff is pretty much where it's at, apart from a few, but yeah. The Sleeper is fantastic. This is a really good throwback to late 70s, early 80s slashers, very similar to stuff like Black Christmas, House on Sorority Row, that sort of thing. So if you enjoy those films, I definitely recommend this one. This is another one where I never really hear too many people talk about it, especially not now. This one came out last year, early 2012, and it had a bit of a buzz when it first came out, but it's kind of died down a lot. This is very easy to track down. It's cheap on Amazon, and I do believe later this year the UK is getting a release of this one. But yeah, this is fantastic. I really like the kills in this one. They're a mixture of the sort of more simple classic stuff, and there's also some really sort of over the top, pretty brutal and gory kills as well. So it's got a good mixture of kills in this one, and I really love the killer. Basically, he rings up his victims, and whoever he rings up is obviously the next person to get it. But yeah, this is really well done. So that's The Sleeper. Right, moving on to my number 4 is American Psycho. Now this is a fairly new addition to the list, but it immediately jumped into my top 5. I think this is a fucking exceptional film. It's fairly popular, I don't really need to say too much about it. Absolutely amazing performance from Christian Bale. Again, this had a really good 80s setting, some fantastic music and a great soundtrack throughout this film. Yeah, just absolutely loved it. Fantastic. American Psycho. Number 3 is Dream Home. This is a Korean slasher film. I've talked about this quite a bit in previous videos, so I'm not really going to go on too much about it in this one. But this is fantastic, especially if you are a massive fan of really realistic, violent, brutal and gory kills. This is definitely one to check out. It had a pretty good storyline, although as I've said many times before, I didn't really care for the way that it was told. I sort of found it a little bit disruptive on the pace of the film, but still pretty unique. It's about a Korean woman who is obsessed with getting a certain apartment with the water view. Basically, she can't afford it, and she pretty much thinks if she can't have it, no one can. There's a pretty good amount of kills in this one, and some absolutely phenomenal kills. Very, very violent, brutal, and realistic deaths. So definitely check out Dream Home. It's awesome. Sitting at number 2 is Stitches. This is another fairly addition to my this is another fairly new addition to my top 10. This one came out, I think it came out last year, but it got a release on Blu-ray this year, and this is fantastic. This is a great sort of comedy slasher. I've watched this quite a few times since having it. I've probably seen the movie about 3 times in the past couple of months, which is quite a bit for me in terms of rewatching a film in that short time period. But I think it's fantastic. It blends comedy with horror very, very well, I think. It's a short film, and it just has that massive replay value for me. I really enjoy this one because the characters are fairly young in this one. They represent the teenage equivalent very, very well. I mean, they're basically teenagers for real, so I really like that in films when the age is actually realistic to the characters in a certain movie. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling on, but yeah, Stitches is fantastic. There's some amazing kills in this one. The body count isn't massive, but the kills certainly more than make up for it. I think Stitches made for a fantastic killer. And if you're just looking for a really fun time with some fucking awesome kills and some really, really good effects, definitely check out Stitches. I know quite a few have been picking this one up recently. I do believe it's fairly cheap at Best Buy on Blu-ray, so do yourself a favour and check this one out. And it is readily available in other countries as well. And last, but certainly not least, my favourite modern slasher of all time, pretty much, is Hatchet 2. Now, this is another one that I've talked about a lot. You guys know my opinions on it, so I'm not really going to talk too much about it, but I think this is an absolutely exceptional slasher. It pretty much is the perfect example of a slasher film. Sort of got throwback elements, some fucking amazing kills in this one. The gore and kills are just absolutely phenomenal in this one. It definitely trumps the original. The other thing I love about this film is it has more of a mature cast, which you don't really come across too often in slashers, but I thought the cast in this was absolutely fantastic. Tom Holland was amazing, Tony Todd as always was really good, and of course Kane Hodder, and you can't forget about the amazing Danielle Harris. She was awesome in this. So Hatchet 2, I really don't know what to say about this that hasn't already been said, but yeah, Hatchet 2. Amazing film, and I really cannot wait for Hatchet 3. Okay, so there you go. There is my top 10 modern slashers list for you guys. If there's any movies I've mentioned in this video that you haven't checked out, I obviously highly recommend doing so. Some video responses would be fantastic. I'd really love to know what you guys pick for your top 10 slashers. Let me know what you think of the movies I've talked about in this video, and thank you for watching.